Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about this VN Berlina wagon. Back in 2017, I was looking to buy a VN wagon and I came across a VN SVLE wagon. It was a Melbourne based car. Negotiating interstate from New South Wales to Melbourne was quite difficult. I missed out on that car and I was quite upset about it. My brother tried to cheer me up and send me an ad of this VN wagon. It was a VN Berlina V6 base car, but it did have power pack. Being a V6, stock it had 125 kilowatts, 292 newton meters of torque. This is the first time bringing it home, looking over the car, finding all the things that I need to improve and fix on a very small budget. The rear tailgate around the window had some obvious signs of rust that I wanted to tidy up a little. When I removed the dash mat, it was literally screwed into the dash. The whole point of a dash mat is to protect the dash, right? But in this case, why not drill some holes in the dash? It's a very, very special touch. The interior was generally in pretty good condition. It was quite dirty. The headrests were missing on this car. It had some Toyota headrests. The door trim on the driver's side was completely crushed. You can see the armrest there. Apart from the few holes in the dash and a slight warping on top of the driver's side vent, the dash was in really good condition. I never liked the old school pinstripe on the VNs. I really think it suited the older Holdens. It had to go and it was quite painful to get it off. It was time to give the car a buff to see what we could do with the paintwork. This was my little scruffy furball Toby. I used any of the cheap polishes I had on this car. Given that the paintwork wasn't perfect, I just wanted to make it look a lot better. I had my heart set on a VN SVLE, so when I came across these wheels, I knew I had to have them for a reasonable price. Here you can see them on the car. Car's been buffed up. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. The wiper stalk had seen better days. I replaced it with the spare one that I had. The radio surround also was damaged and I did replace that later. The corners of the armrests on the Series 1 door trims often bubble. I was going to trim over this, so I've slit this so it doesn't stick out. I pushed out the sunken in door trim and reinforced from the back. This Berlina came with the optional power windows. The driver's door trim was quite crushed. The VN Berlina door trims with the power pack option are hard to get, so I decided I would re-trim them as best I could using vinyl from the back of some old VN seats, just for the bottom armrest. This is how I did it, using a staple gun, and I also put some padding under it so it was a little cushioned. And this was the end result for the driver's door. I replicated that for all 4 door trims to make them all look the same. Originally I was going to 5-litre convert this wagon, but I had no plans to spend big money. I spent $800 buying it and $400 to transport it from Victoria to New South Wales. The badges had seen better days. Front, back and the side guards. I wanted to just fix them up a little bit. I'd just paint them with a brush. I removed them from the car. Although they weren't perfect, they looked so much better than the original state, especially when I put them back on the car. This is how it looked when I got it. I also treated the rust, and after I did the badges and cleaned up the tailgate. While I was there, I also gave the grille a splash of paint to freshen it up. The rear now has its new badges except the V6 badge. I took the bumper off because the black on the bottom and the top wasn't in very good condition. Even though the bar was quite rough, I thought it'd look a lot better if we tidied it up. I did the same for the front, but I was a bit lazy. I just left it on the car. I ran a new pinstripe through the bar from stick disc decals, front and back, which matches the side molds. I've now put VN Calais wheels on. It's a more stock look, even though the VN Calais wheels didn't come on the Berlina. The interior is now nice and tidy. I puttied up the hole in the dash and dabbed it with some grey paint, replaced the headrests with factory items, cleaned the seats. All 4 door trims have a padded armrest. The vinyl that I trimmed over the top of them covers up the bubbles in the corners of each armrest. It does look pretty standard. It's nice and soft. The interior is really clean. One thing I like about the VN Berlina is the fabric's pretty plush. It was taken directly from the VL Calais. In 2018, I found another VN SVLE. It was from Melbourne. I had to have it. I held on to the VN Berlina wagon. I didn't want to put it on full registration, so I waited until it turned 30 years old. And at the start of 2019, this was the day that I got a blue slip for it. It was a good opportunity to get photos of the 2 cars together. The SVLE started as a VN Berlina wagon. It even retained the side molds and the bumper style. The wagon was super useful. I used to get all my car parts. These are VSSS seats, Series 2s that I picked up from a wreckers really cheap for about 150 bucks. Sold them for a good healthy profit. After fixing up all the little bits and pieces and putting the car on club registration, it owed me $1,500. It was a good, reasonably clean example. Someone had seen my VN Berlina on Facebook and asked if I wanted to trade it for a VN Calais with cash their way. I had no intention of getting rid of the VN wagon. It's a great car, it was very useful. However, we came to an agreement, $4,000 on top for the Calais. We drove halfway to Melbourne. He drove halfway to Sydney. So that's basically the story of how I got my VN 5-litre Calais, pretty much by accident. I have another video on the VN Calais with the changes that I've made. Please check it out. This is my brother driving the Berlina. It was its last drive and we're going to swap the car. This was March 2020, just before lockdowns for COVID.
Okay, see you, Dad. See you later.
That's a wrap, guys. Catch you next time.